listeners, to a brand new episode of Nerd Corner's Cosplay Spotlight. Hi there, listeners. I am your host, JPOOL, and tonight I'm joined by a special guest. Give it up for Lunar Lyn.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Yes, I'm going to add clapping and audience in the background. Because there's a lot of people in this studio. No, there's not. All by myself. All by myself. Nobody wants to be in my studio, which is my bedroom.
Yeah, I'm just sitting in my couch, so.
So, Lunar Lyn, could you tell the listening audience, because they can't see you, but I will put pictures up, who you are and exactly what you do?
Well, I'm Lunar Lyn, or Carlin, or Lyn, whatever strikes your fancy. I have been cosplaying for just under 5 years. I've only gotten really into it in the last 2 years. But I've been dressing up kind of my entire life. I was always the kid in school that if it was Halloween on a weekday, you bet I would be wearing my costume to school, no matter what. Even if kids made fun of me, that's what I did, and a lot of my friends can still vouch for that. But I am an artist. I am classically trained in oil painting, so the need to create has always been there. But I think my artistry paired with my fandom for so many things has just created this monster of costume making, wearing, becoming that character, and I love it, and it's just become my passion lately.
That's fantastic. I think the first time I saw you, I don't think I introduced myself, but I think the first time I saw you was it Amidala?
Oh, yes.
Queen Amidala from Star Wars?
Yes. Which one did you see? It was the old one?
I think the full red robe, the one that goes
Yes.
down. Yeah, I think was
So,
Phoenix Comic Con?
yeah,
Yeah.
I wore that thing the first year that Phoenix Comic Con moved from Mesa to downtown. I wore that, and I wore it for 3 years. I retired it now because that thing is as old as episode 1. I made that in 1999 with my mom. And then in 2010, I kind of added to it, redid some parts because it was kind of falling apart. But yeah, that was like my original, I would call that my first real cosplay, I guess. Something that wasn't just for like Halloween or a costume party. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It was incredible when I
Thank
saw it. I was
you.
looking at it, just the amount of detail and embroidery on that was I've seen some artists just, miss some needle points on the Amidala outfit, and you got it on point, like
Oh,
movie
thanks.
quality.
They are complicated costumes, and those a lot of people don't like the prequels, and that's a whole other discussion. But the costume work on those movies is just mind blowing to me, and I I hope I can make all of them someday. But I just always thought they were one of the best challenges to take on. So of course that would be like one of my first things is to go for one of those. But
Oh,
yeah,
definitely.
I love the challenge of making something screen accurate, even down to the fiber type of the fabric, which it's kind of insane, but I really, really like doing stuff like that.
Oh no, when I see all your costumes, I'm just extremely impressed. I mean, you're so advanced in costume making. It's insane.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, and you do portray these characters very well.
It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it.
It's like being on Halloween like every week of the year, if you can.
I know. I mean, I can't resist that. I don't know how other people can.
Exactly. Another Star Wars cosplay I've seen you do is, what was it, Sabe?
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
one of the handmaidens of Padme the Berry or Queen
Hmm.
Amidala.
Yes. That one I started it a year ago, and I made it for Phoenix Comic Con 2015. So it took months. I some of the fabric I had to order overseas because I just could not find anything here. So I ordered it online. And just the little details like um, there's little crystals on her headpiece that you wouldn't know that you can't even really tell in the film, but it wasn't until I saw some of the like art book pictures in or on the internet that I think it was on Rebel Legion. I was poking around on there, and I was like, oh crap, there's crystals. I need to add those. Just little things like that I really care about, and I've I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so I just wanted to do it justice. And I think I also made Sabe because it's so mobile friendly. Like moving around is so much easier in that than some of her bigger gowns, especially that red throne room gown that I made. It's really hard to move around in, so that's another reason why I decided to make that one.
That's fantastic. Are you trained? Like, did you go to school to become a seamstress?
Oh no, not at all. I went to school for um, like just traditional art, drawing, painting. I'm a portrait artist, like a realist, like photorealism artist, and that's what my forte is. Which is weird. I haven't done art in a long time. When I got out of college, it kind of hit me that I can't really do a whole lot with this career-wise, and I tried commission work for a long time, and it didn't go very well because you have photography, and not very many people want to commission drawings or paintings when you can just get photography. So I actually worked at the Apple Store for a while, and then I had a couple friends that took me to Phoenix Comic Con, and I was like, what is this? I must partake. And so I just thank God for the internet because I used YouTube and tutorials from other cosplayers and Pinterest, and I just taught myself how to sew. Yeah, so my mom got me a machine for Christmas, and I just sat down and started messing around with it. And some of the stuff was pretty terrible at first, but just practice and practice and start small and then work up to big. And now I just ended up where I am now, naturally.
Well, I have to say, your stuff is beautiful. It's like I said, it's like movie quality. I mean, if if you ever wanted a job in the entertainment business, that's a very good resume.
I mean, I would just love that. I can't even tell you.
Yeah, like doing wardrobe for,
Yeah.
even starting off with independent movies. It would just be,
Yeah. Yeah, I have some friends that they're working to get into theater costuming, and I know it's out there, but just gotta work up to it.
oh yeah, definitely. But like I said, just your work is incredible, and every costume I've seen you in, you seem to put like 110% in each costume.
I do try to. I like to compete. I like to share what I've learned with other people. I'm starting to do panels and stuff as well to do things like that. But I've actually made the most friends like doing a masquerade or a costume contest because just being in the same room with people that love to do what you do, it's like kind of the best part of a convention for me. It keeps you motivated to make another costume for the next event and to make it even better than the last one. And everything I make, every new piece I sew, I learn something new.
Oh yeah, and with going to these conventions, there's a lot of networking involved. You meet
Yeah,
so
yeah.
many other seamstresses and armor makers and other people where you can pick up, a little bit here and there and work on that so that you can, increase your knowledge of to make newer and bigger cosplays.
hmm And I might be a little partial, but I really do think that Arizona has some of the best uh, costume makers, seamstresses, armor builders out there. I've seen some incredible work by people that live here. It's an awesome community to be a part of.
Oh yeah, we've grabbed a lot of uh, really big costumer or
Yeah.
seamstress from all around, and they've come in from different parts of the country. But some, were even raised here. But Yeah, we have some incredible community, really well connected, not just the cosplay community, but the comic book and creator community are
Yeah, for
really
sure.
well connected. It's without really, in my opinion, without the cosplayers um, and the artists and the writers in this, in the Arizona area, Phoenix, even Flagstaff, Tucson, Mesa, Tempe, uh, it would feel very disconnected. I've had a lot of friends that have come to Arizona and are very surprised how connected our community is, and they come from like California or from like New York.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
feel it's very warm here, even with all
I agree.
even with all
Yeah.
the drama that sometimes happens here. Um,
Drama's everywhere
yeah,
though.
it's all everywhere, but we
Yeah.
still have a very connected community. And
Yeah.
almost, if you don't know that person, you eventually know them because you have like mutual friends that know them, so they'll
Exactly.
introduce you. So,
Yeah, it just snowballs. That's kind of what happened to me, actually. So I love it.
yeah, definitely. Now, can you tell the listeners on some of the other cosplays you have done?
Yes. Gosh, I don't know where to start. I guess okay, my first fandom love is Sailor Moon. It's an old 80s slash 90s anime. I got really into it in middle school and I just never let go. In fact, I made a Sailor Moon costume when I was like 12. I mean, it was horrible, but I still wore it and thought it was awesome. Cause duh. But I I have um, a couple Sailor Venus costumes. One I made new last year, but I really feel like I don't even really have to pretend to be someone else when I'm Sailor Venus. I just connect with that character, so she's easy for me to wear, and I feel the most like myself. So yeah, you'll see me prance around as Sailor Venus quite a bit. Um, my second favorite thing to cosplay as is, well, I guess I should have said anime in general with that Sailor Moon, but video games, particularly Zelda. Um, I am a huge Nintendo fiend. I grew up on Nintendo. That's kind of all I still play. I've tried to play some of the harder like role playing games like oh I say hard but like Skyrim and stuff like that. But I always go back to Zelda. So I love Zelda, like the Princess Zelda, but I never really felt like I wanted to make some of her dresses I've seen until Skyward Sword came out, and I was like, holy crap, this is a Zelda that could kind of feel like I can relate to. She's not quite, spoiler alert, she's not quite royalty yet in this timeline. She's kind of more rustic, and I mean, her father is still an important person, so she's still kind of an important person, but she's not, Princess Zelda yet. So she's a little bit younger, sweeter looking, not so serious, and I had to make this costume. So that's one of the harder ones that I've made. There's a lot of different techniques involved, and the wig was kind of crazy. I had to sew in tons of extra wefts to the wig, and I learned a lot from that. It was the first time I did any big applique pieces. I did fabric painting. I did a lot of fabric painting, actually, for that one. I did, like, resin stuff and clay working with the bracelets, and so it's one of my favorites just because all at once I had to learn all these new techniques just so I could finish it.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And I have a Saria that I've made from the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, the little green-haired friend of Link, and it was really simple. There wasn't anything too complicated about that one, but I love that character so much. I think a lot of people have a soft spot for that character, but that one's more just kind of like fun to go around in because I like seeing people's reactions make me really happy because they're like, oh my gosh, Saria, and I just like making people smile too. So, and I have a few. I guess I have only done DC superheroines, but I have my white raven that is really fun to wear.
Oh yeah,
And
I love those shots that Cortex did with
yeah,
you. Those are incredible.
I love those pictures so much. I made her for FanFest um, in 2014, and I didn't really get any good pictures of her. I was freezing that day for one thing, but I recently wore her again. Got some pictures, and actually it was funny because the creator of Teen Titans was at Amazing Arizona, and he saw me. I was just walking by because there was a line of people lined up waiting to get autographs from him, and I was just trying to like walk by, stay out of the way, and he actually stopped me and wanted a picture with me. So that was actually pretty exciting, and thought that was quite a compliment. So yeah, Raven's also kind of my spirit animal in that I'm an introvert, definitely an introvert. I'm not like dark brooding kind of person, but I do like to have my alone time. So when I wear Raven, I feel like I can just kind of zen.
I would never, I never tell that about you in person that you're an introvert.
Hmm.
You seem very out there, and you seem very excited about your character. So you're good at acting.
Thanks. I think that's what it is. I think, well, and maybe a lot of cosplayers can relate to this, but I feel more confident when I cosplay. I mean, I have good self-esteem being myself too, but I just feel like I can, it's an expressive art. So being in costume does make me feel like um, I can just be more out there than I would usually be. And it depends on the character too, but um, and being in my element and being around my friends or people that have the same interests as me, it's just a comfortable place to be in, and it's a happy place to be in. So, yeah, I guess that's probably why you couldn't tell that. Usually, um, I like to, being in large crowds usually makes me really tired or stressed or anxious, but it's kind of not usually the case at a convention, believe it or not.
Yeah, I've talked to a bunch of cosplayers who are usually very shy, and when they get in costume, especially if they're wearing a full mask,
Yeah.
they turn into somebody completely different than
Hmm.
you would see in their private time or just on the street. And it's amazing, though, but when you get into costume, it gives you sort of like self-empowerment.
It does. Yeah. Definitely, it depends on the costume too. But like I have some sweeter, um, like I don't know if the listeners will know what Spice and Wolf is. It's an anime. Um, the main character is a wolf spirit named Holo, and when I'm in her, um, I do feel just very, um, I don't know, just yeah, empowered because she's a strong confident figure, but just very at ease, I guess. I don't really feel like I have to, like my usual self is just kind of like stay out of the way. I don't really want to talk to people. If someone rings my doorbell, I don't want to go answer it.
Yeah, definitely. I saw you as Black Canary at FanFest.
Oh yeah, that's definitely one. Probably my most powerful feeling, just because I mean she's Black Canary. She's physically strong and she's uh, blonde and awesome, but she has the kind of superpower that she has demands attention and respect and fear. So I think that's kind of how I felt when I was wearing Black Canary. It kind of pushed my comfort zone a little bit, even, but I love it and I'm really hooked on her character.
Oh yeah, I think that was what the Bruce Timm's Black
Yes.
Canary from Justice League.
How did you know?
It's
Yay!
it's the jacket and
Yes.
the stockings and the boots and
Yes.
everything.
That's
There's
awesome.
different versions. Yeah, I have a
Hmm.
friend that did like Young Justice Black Canary recently,
Uh-huh.
and
Yep.
you just can tell, especially with all the new Black Canaries you see from the Arrow one, which is more than just
Yeah,
like
I've
S and
seen.
M gear.
Yeah, that's true. It's really fun. Sometime I would love to, like maybe at Phoenix Comic Con, make like a meetup for like all Black Canaries, all different kinds, and just see the transformation of the character and just get pictures together because that would be so cool. And it's a celebration of a character that you love and appreciate and try to emulate, and I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, definitely. I love that shoot you did with Itty Bitty Geek as she, her as
Oh, her,
Batgirl.
yes, yes.
You did that with Hindmade Productions.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Yeah, I was on the side just like snapping away,
Oh, yeah, I remember that now.
but no, it was incredible. I loved both of you together, and just it was like a perfect match against that. I think was it at a number two or something like that
Yeah,
at
it
the
just,
Fan Fest.
it was an awesome element of badass bird babes, you know? I loved it so much. Yeah,
Exactly.
she's become one of my fun cosplay friends, and it's not to go on a tangent, but it's funny how um, you kind of have two different, or you have different kinds of conventions, but you have like kind of your anime conventions, and then you have your like comic conventions, and I have friends in both, and then sometimes they're friends with both, and it's really cool to um, touch base with so many different people that love so many different things. So, if I wanted to ever do a Teen Titans group, I know I can find people that are really into that. Or if I want to do like a Dragon Ball Z group, I know I could definitely find people that love Dragon Ball Z. So
Oh yeah,
it's pretty great.
they're everywhere. If you want to be a
Exactly.
predator, there's predators
Yeah,
everywhere.
exactly. Or Star Wars or Star Trek. And I mean, we have awesome cosplay communities in Arizona. I love it so much.
Most of them live at the Renfest.
I know, it's true. Yeah. Yep.
Tell the listeners a little bit about your shoot in Flagstaff, because I know I had a shoot a week after that.
Okay, yeah.
So,
That was a bunch of us. I think it was Cortex Studios that originally put it together, and Speed Force Photography was there. But we just all wanted to do a Star Wars shoot in the snow, specifically, and we kept it to just strictly Star Wars stuff. No mashups or crossovers, just because they also wanted to film a little short film from it too. But we all just met up in Flagstaff. It was like the last week of January, something like that, or
the
second last week. So it was
second to last week.
still pretty cold. I hadn't seen snow in a while, so that was a lot of fun. It was a bit more snow than I thought it would be, so I'm glad that most of us wore, like knee-high um, combat style boots or something, or the boots that are screen accurate Rebel Legion approved, so we could trudge through the snow. Um, and we hiked out behind Little America Hotel in Flagstaff, and we were there all day. So it was very tiring and intense, but it was a lot of fun, and we got some really great shots. There were a lot of really awesome Sith cosplayers, and there were a few Mandos. Um, I wish we had more Jedi, but we we actually only had like 3 Jedi, and everyone else is a Sith, which is really funny. Um, but yeah, it was just a really fun day of snow and the outdoors and friends and Star Wars. And can't really get any better than that.
That's fantastic. Did you did you get any frostbite?
No, but I think all of us, I have a picture of a bunch of us girls huddled around in one of those foily solar blankets because it was fine until the sun went down. It was still light out, but it was painful, and our toes were, well, numb, but it was just a lot of pain. And I know some people, their boots weren't watertight, so they would started getting sloshy in their boots. And after, I don't remember how long we were out there, maybe like 6 or 7 hours, but after that amount of time, we were just done.
Yeah, well, I set up a photo shoot like a week after that, so that technically was the last week of January up in Flagstaff, in the same area actually.
Yeah.
And one of our cosplayers was doing a Poison Ivy version that just had a leaf bikini.
Phew.
and
Yeah,
nothing else.
brave, brave.
And she wore like, well, on some of her shoots she was barefoot. So
I
yeah, so like an hour and a half to 2 hours straight in the snow without shoes.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I was in my sabe, so I was like fully kimono style covered with boots and all. I can't imagine. Even someone wearing, I know you had an Elsa, even with that, that's pretty chilly. So,
well, that was Jacqueline.
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, Jacqueline, you live up here. Why are you so cold? She only did it for like a little over 20 minutes and she
Mm,
decided to go change.
yeah, that's nice though.
Apparently the cold bothered her.
Oh dear. Oh.
Yes, and she couldn't let it go.
Oh gosh.
But no, you had Jacqueline there too as well. She did her, what was it, Mara Jade?
Mara Jade, yeah, she
Yeah,
did. Yeah, that was awesome. And she did a Femme Han Solo later in the day too, because she could go back and change easily. I was jealous.
that's fantastic. I would love to have you down for the shoot that I set up for next January, the last week of January as well. I decided to do a year ahead this time, so make sure that
No, that's good. Yeah.
everybody knows that because I did it 5 months ahead last time. This time I'm giving a whole 12 months for people to
No
put on the
excuses.
calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we lost like half our people because they got sick.
Oh man, so many people were sick this year. It was intense. It was a brutal cold season, flu season.
Oh yeah, well it always is, I think, and that's why
Yeah.
I said. But before like an event, at least a couple weeks before an event, I take a lot of vitamin C, a lot of garlic, try to stay away from the sweets.
Wash your hands especially at conventions. You don't know where people have been.
You don't even have to touch them.
I know, exactly. It's just being in a giant room full of people who come from everywhere you don't know. So, yep.
I think one time I should just come at the convention as a big green blob and call myself the con plague
Oh my gosh.
and just go around,
People
trying to
would be
touch
amused
people.
because it's a real thing.
It is a real thing, and I've gotten sick from it. I've tried to stay well. Um, if I don't keep my immunity up, I don't like to eat anything sugary really when I'm at conventions. So I try to stay away from as. I
Yeah,
mean,
that helps.
I do drink soda pop, but that's
Yeah.
really the only sugary thing I eat, is because I don't want to get sick. I'm only getting like 3 or 4 hours of sleep
See,
because
yes.
through the whole like 3 or 4 days, depending on which convention.
And I think that's why people tend to get sick easily at conventions is because you're not sleeping. You're excited or you're out partying or you're working on those cosplays at the last minute and you're not sleeping and it's so important. And I mean, I'm really bad about that too, but yep, that's how you get really sick.
Procrastination at its best.
Oh yes.
I have friends that literally are working on their costume, for the costume contest. That's just a day afterwards in their hotel room, and they're still
Oh,
working.
oh yes, we've all been there and it's horrible. Try not to do that to yourself.
Well, I don't know how to sew myself, or at least with a sewing machine, so I haven't been in those situations. I've had a sewing needle, and it
Yeah,
just
for like
trying to,
mending stuff.
yeah, just trying to mend it, and hopefully holds together because I
That's
have poor
okay.
sewing
That's
skills.
understandable. Yeah.
I'm like,
It's
if it holds a whole day and then tears at the end of the day, I'm okay
You're
with that.
good. Yeah, totally. That's all
Yeah.
you can hope for sometimes. But
Yeah.
if you're bringing your sewing machine to a con, that probably means you should wait to debut it at a different conventions because if you don't want to rush something, you want it to be your best, so don't do that to yourself. And you want to sleep, so yeah.
Some cosplayers are like, what is sleep?
Yeah.
I'm not going to name names, but we know these people.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm kind of one of them, but it's more just like I just get really excited and then I have to get up early to get ready and then I'm out really late. So it kind of comes with the territory, but I try not to be working up on my cosplay up to the very last second. It definitely happens though. I mean, let's be real.
Oh yeah, I try not to even go to any parties. I'm getting up there, at least for myself,
Hmm.
in age, where I'm looking at all the youngins, I call them, and going, no, I'm not gonna go to that rave because I need to get sleep. I'll be asleep by the time you walk in, like at three
Yes,
o'clock in the morning, and have to get up like 2 hours later.
exactly. Yeah, it's really not worth it past a certain point.
It's like my body doesn't work that way anymore. I can't bounce
Hmm.
up and down to music that doesn't really have a beat, and
Yeah.
and be blinded by fluorescent lights everywhere that change color, and then try to get some sleep later, and my
Yeah.
adrenaline's
Doesn't work
pumping
that
like
way.
crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't do the partying at cons anymore. I mean, I will just sit there and enjoy good conversation with friends, but most of the time I just go back to the hotel and go
Yeah.
night, and then wake up
Yeah, me too. It
earlier
is
than everybody else.
food and chill time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
for sure.
Uh, if we can get away from the costuming talk for a little bit,
Uh-huh.
tell us a little bit more about yourself away from costuming. I mean, what are your interests? I mean, do you have like any favorite movies or television shows or music?
Oh man, yes. I love media. I love manga. I haven't read books as much in a few years just because I there are so many good shows out, so I watch a lot of stuff on Netflix or Hulu. Um, I don't even know where to start with that. I love music. Um, I I grew up playing instruments, so I just really appreciate music. I always have to have music on when I'm getting ready in the morning or even sewing. So that's a really big part of my life. I don't paint and draw as much as I used to, but I really should. It used to be like a daily thing for me, but I still love artwork. And now when I go to conventions, I've made a lot of friends with some of the artists that come to conventions, even at bigger ones like Anime Expo or something. I've gotten to know them through social media, so I'll go and talk to them, and it's just really cool to, I don't know, touch base with a lot of people that have different artistic talents. So, and I buy a lot of their artwork, which is kind of a thing that I do now, but I barely have wall space left, so I probably should calm down a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
I enjoy art so much. Um, I'm trying to think. I love cats. I have a cat. He's kind of a demon, but I love him anyway. His name's Revan, like from Darth Revan.
Nice.
And if you met him, you would be like, oh, that's why. um, I am from Scottsdale originally, and then I moved to Arkansas after I graduated high school. I won't say when that was. And lived out there for a few years and decided that I want to move back. So I moved back to Arizona and didn't know a soul. And it was actually through cosplay, but it took me years to kind of like make a network and find people to connect to. And I'm just very thankful that I did. In my spare time, I'm usually, well, making cosplay or showing other projects, obviously, but I watch a lot of anime and Disney cartoons. I am a big cartoon fanatic. I've watched, I mean, gosh, everything. I grew up on the old animated Batman series. I was a huge Disney person as a little girl, and even now, I can quote probably every line of every Disney movie ever. Which is, I mean, it's kind of you. I don't know what if people would think that I'm a big Disney fan or not. I don't really dress as Disney princesses. I feel like that's kind of a responsibility you can't take lightly. You know what I mean?
Amidala, she's Disney.
Yes, but she's not like Belle or Snow White or that's like a whole other thing for me that I don't think I'm ready to tackle. So, um, I thanks to my dad, I grew up on Star Trek heavily, um, from like 5 years old up. So I
Oh
was a
yeah, me too.
big Star Trek fan. And then um, I don't remember what year this was. I was pretty young, but when Star Wars was released into theaters again in the late 90s, I was just immersed into this amazing world of fantasy, sci-fi, and I've never been the same. So, and lucky me, married somebody that is an even bigger Star Wars nerd than me. So, we have a lot of things in our home and around, and that is just very telling of our Star Wars fandom. But yeah, and I never actually thought I'd see the day that these new movies are coming out and being so well done. It's a very exciting time to be alive. So,
How many times did you see the movie?
only twice actually. I'm keeping it in check. When I was younger, I would see them so much that I started to be a little bit more critical of them. But not that this one is anything like the other ones, the prequels, but I only saw it twice so far. But that's because I'm also just really, really busy. My my day job is actually I work in an accounting office with my family's business, which is kind of like the opposite of everything else in my life, I guess. I know it sounds kind of weird to say. I hope they don't listen to this. Yeah, it's just bookkeeping, numbers, bill paying. I mean, it's an office job, but it's a good job, and it's part of my family's legacy. And I didn't think I'd end up there, but I just kind of ended up there. So,
Awesome. And do you have any like future goals, especially with your cosplay, that you
um,
want to do?
like in general, or specific things I want to make.
Well, I mean, not just make, but do you want to like make this into a business or
Oh,
somehow have this become something that gets you to
sure.
something that you really enjoy doing, but as a job?
Hmm. Yes and no. I don't think I'll ever do like commission work for big costumes or anything because that's something that I want to keep um, for myself as something that I just really love to do and that brings me real joy. Um, but I do hope to actually sew for a living eventually, open up some kind of online store where I can sell nerd genre useful, like fun, not ugly household items. Um, I know there is a market. I've wanted certain things that I can't find, and if I made those things, I'm sure other people might feel the same way. So I think I have a future in that. But for now, I know I'm going to be doing this for a while, but I'm cool with that.
That's fantastic. No, we're getting near the end of our interview. Do you have any place where the fans can go and view your page and like it as well?
Yes, I do. Well, I have a Facebook page. You can just find me at Lunar Lyn. Um, I do post extra stuff on there. I mostly forward it from Instagram. I'm super active on Instagram. I post a lot of work in progress pictures or just pictures of my costumes or at conventions and friends I've made or whatever. I also use cospix.net heavily. It's kind of my portfolio. I keep all of my um, costumes in there and I give details on what I used to make them, when I made them, what I made them for, and then all the like cool pro shots that I've gotten of those costumes are on my Cospix page, and it's also Lunar Lyn or cospix.net/lunarlyn. But yeah, that's where you can find me. I do love Instagram though, and I think it's because it's such a visual kind of social media. So if you're on Instagram, go find me. It's I think it's just lunar.lyn. But yeah, let's be friends. Yay.
Yay! Do you have any other conventions that you are gonna be uh, going to in the future?
Yes, in fact, this year is so busy. I'm doing a few big cosplay groups that I'm really excited about. But I had to be like, okay, this is all I can make this year, so no more. I am, I'm going to Konnichiwa in Tucson at the end of March, so that's kind of soon. And then, let's see, March, April. Okay, so beginning of May, I'll be at Fanime in San Jose. And then end of May, I'll be at Phoenix, or it's like beginning of June, Phoenix Comic Con. And then Independence Day weekend, I'll be at Anime Expo. It's crazy. And then hopefully I don't have anything else until um, Saboten. I think I'm going to Game On Expo in August, but as far as like big costume stuff, Saboten's the last one I'm going to. So it's a really busy year, but really excited. Should be a good time.
Are you going to try to hit up FanFest at the end of the year again?
Oh yeah, I'll be there. I'm sure I'll probably whip together something new. Probably what I really want to make. I can't wait for the movie to come out, but the new Justice League versus Teen Titans movie.
Oh yeah, I can't wait too.
Oh man. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that one. I'm got my eyes set on that Raven. So we'll see what happens.
That is awesome. Well, we are near the end of our interview, and I would like to thank you, Lunar Lyn, for being on GNERD Corner's Cosplay Spotlight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You are very welcome. I'm looking forward to seeing you hopefully soon. No, I'm
Yeah,
just going to say
definitely.
that.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
cross my fingers.
Yeah.
Or just one finger. I think two is like bad luck. But
That's
it's a thing. It's a thing.
I
It's
didn't know that.
science.
I did not know that.
Yes. And check out her page, Lunar Lyn, on Facebook, and all the other pages. I will be posting up the links right below. And be sure to like the page and tell her that JPOOL from JPOOL's GNERD Corner sent you.
Yeah, thanks guys. I appreciate it.
All right, and also thank you to the listeners, the ones that are listening. And if you turned off halfway through, you are a bad person and you're not getting any ice cream.
Yeah, no ice cream for you.
Yes, no soup for you. No soup for you.
Yeah.
I will name you. I will name you the ones who were listening and turned it off.
But
And
I'll be
shame
nice
you.
and not do that though.
And shame that on you. All right. Well, thank you, Lunar Lyn, once again for being on and spending time with us.
Yeah, thank you so much. I had a good time.
And also, for all the other listeners, don't forget to check out our Facebook at facebook.com/JPOOL's GNERD Corner. We also have a website, jpoolsgnerdcorner.wordpress.com. And we have a Twitter at GNERD Corner. You can also check out some of our photos at GNERD Corner on Instagram. And don't forget to enjoy your chimichanga.